Ladies and gents, welcome to this video. My name is Taylor Rentrud. I'm excited to talk to you today about time allocation for starting an agency. I was sitting in the pool area, common area next to the pool, doing nothing actually, just thinking about YouTube video ideas. And it dawned on me that this is going to be a great video, particularly because I see there's quite a lot of people out there who are thinking of starting an agency, trying to start an agency, struggling to start an agency, and frankly, it's probably because they don't know what step one is for starting an agency, and they're doing step 4, 5, 6, and 7. They're thinking 40 moves ahead when they haven't even thought about what their first move is. So let's talk about time allocation. First of all, it starts with service market fit research, ladies and gents. Yes, you heard that right. I took product market fit and changed product with service, ladies and gents. That is just truly the way it goes here. And that's actually the number one thing you should be spending your time on in the beginning. In fact, it should be the only thing you're spending your time on. Let me zoom in on all these zeros. This is all the other aspects of an agency that a lot of people start thinking about when they are starting, when in reality they should just be spending 100% of their time on the fundamentals. What is the fundamentals specifically? Let's drill down a little bit what that means. Fundamentals is truly just service market fit research. Mindset could be thrown into it, but ultimately service market fit is one, identifying what is the service that you're going to offer, and two, who is it that you're going to offer that service to. The who is the market, the what is really the service, right? And you should also ask yourself why for both of those. Like, why are you going to choose this service, and why are you going to choose this market? And that gets a little bit deeper into the personal aspect of things, which is what are you actually curious about, right? You should enter a market that you genuinely are curious about. So if you get into Amazon advertising like I did, I was genuinely really curious about advertising and marketing online at that time. And so any form of facet to do with marketing online, I was stoked to learn it. And that's why I got into it. So that's what I'm talking about when I talk about the fundamentals here is this really. You shouldn't be doing any time on marketing, sales, operations, HR, and finance unless you're starting this agency with $1 million and you're going to be hiring 20, 30, 40 people in the first 1 to 2 months. Very different picture, right? I'm talking about startup, bootstrap, self-funded. You're living in your parents' house. You have no money. You got a laptop. That's what we're talking about here. That's how I started. So, ladies and gents, once you have done the service market fit research, which, by the way, I told you, we're not going in deep on this video on it. I don't want to talk about the depths of this. I have to talk 4 hours straight to go really deep on how to identify service market fit, although I have made videos in the past going a little bit deeper on this subject, specifically, niche selection. I made a really good video on that, identifying a niche. But you can go look for that in the channel if you want to see that stuff. Anyways, once you've figured out the service market fit research, okay, and you're ready to go to the market, then we enter stage 2. This is where you actually launch an agency, okay? Now, remember what I said earlier about how a lot of people skip step 1? Most people, I don't know, they kind of just think to themselves, yeah, I'm going to do digital marketing and how am I going to market myself and get clients? You can't fucking answer that question if you haven't first thought of what in the world you're going to offer as a service, more specifically than digital marketing. And two, who in the world you're going to offer that to, more specifically than any business that's online, because that's every business in the entire world these days. Okay, so step 1, service market fit. All right, step 2, agency launch. Once you've identified that, it should be pretty straightforward to get into the marketing aspect. And this is where you're probably going to spend your time. 80% on marketing, 20% on fundamentals. Okay, let's define what 80% of marketing would look like. Well, you got to build a website. In my opinion, that's super important. You also need your social setup, so social profiles. What does that mean? Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, if that's where your ICPs, ideal client profiles are. You got to get your digital footprint fucking built. Simple, all right? This is a very R-rated video today, ladies and gents. I don't know what's going on, but we're just going to keep it going. Prospecting. Yes, you should be spending a ton of time prospecting. What is prospecting? Prospecting, very simply, ladies and gents, is the process of finding your ICPs and either reaching out to them or just establishing some form of connection with them, whether that be they are now connected to you on LinkedIn, or they're now a friend with you on Facebook, or you have a DM with them on Instagram, you follow them on Instagram, etc. Establishing a relationship with them, finding them, sourcing them, establishing a relationship with them. Okay, that's prospecting. A lot of time is going to go into prospecting. Then you have content creation. I think you should invest in content creation a ton. And you should do your best to make very high quality content and do it consistently 3 to 4 to 5 times a week if you can. In fact, it's not if you can, you definitely can, and you need to, because there's no other, you have no clients at this stage, right? This is pre-revenue. Relationship building. Okay, this is kind of into prospecting, but not so much. Prospecting, we talk about establishing the relationship. Relationship building is, strengthening the relationship, deepening the relationship with those people that you had found in the prospecting stage. Destiny's really good at this. Destiny is the CEO of Better AMS. She's one of the partners as well, and she's just a natural relationship builder. I am not as natural as her, although I can definitely do it, and I did do it for quite some time. But relationship building is just really just exactly what it sounds like, relationship building. This means going to events, networking with people, DMing people, commenting on their posts, liking their posts, giving feedback on certain things that they could maybe improve on, giving them value. This is what relationship building is all about. Now, I don't want you to look at relationship building and think like, oh, you should build a friendship and whatever. I think you should predominantly focus around giving value, especially with the ICPs, the ideal client profiles that you want to go after at this stage, because nobody fucking has time to try to be your friend. Like, you're starting a business. Focus on that. Focus the relationship building around the value that you can offer, and give that value away for free in the beginning through content, through whatever, and slowly build up the relationship, okay, through giving value. In my opinion, that's the best way to do it. I don't think anybody wants to just be a friend. Dream 100, ladies and gents. Obviously, some people want to be your friends. I'm just exaggerating here. Dream 100. This is truly good concept, really popularized by Russell Brunson, but originally created by Chet Holmes. When Chet Holmes was hired to work for Charlie Munger, Chet Holmes was brought into one of Charlie Munger's companies. It was a magazine company, and Charlie Munger said, look, I want to grow the amount of advertisers in our magazine, grow our revenue, etc. Chet built this Dream 100 concept, and it's basically something like this. All the top dream clients that you want to work with, you put them in a list. It could be a list of 6,000, it could be a list of way more than 100. The concept is just called Dream 100. It doesn't have to just be limited by that number. And then you build a relationship with them. It's pretty straightforward. And this also doesn't just mean like ideal client profiles. It could also be influencers in your space that have platforms, such as people that host a podcast, have a really big YouTube channel, have a really big Instagram page. These kind of influencers, if you will, that have platforms, and those platforms have your ideal clients on them. And so you want to speak on those platforms, because if you do, there's social proof, there's authority bias, there's a lot of different biases involved in speaking on a platform, because you become a thought leader, an expert, and then you're seen as an expert, and then they reach out to you on LinkedIn and they say, hey, how can I work with your agency? So that's the marketing aspect, ladies and gents, but you're still going to spend 20% of your time on the fundamentals, because frankly, you're nothing at this stage. You have no revenue. You are pre-revenue. And even if you sign a couple clients and you get to like $5K a month, you're still nothing at this stage. You are literally, you don't have any existence in this universe. So surveying the market, this is important, because as you do marketing, you get feedback. As you build relationships in this service market fit hypothesis that you've developed as to you launching this agency, because you're marketing around your hypothesis of what service you're going to offer and who you're going to offer it to, and that it's going to work. But oftentimes that's not going to be the case. Oftentimes it's not going to work right away, and oftentimes you're going to get feedback from the market, and maybe the market actually needs this more than that, or maybe the service that you offered, or maybe the people you're going after is the wrong type of people, but you realize through getting feedback from going after this market that you need to pivot here. So this is where fundamentals, 20% of your time is going to go into just reflecting on the feedback that you're getting from the market, continuing to survey the market. This is pretty much just naturally going to occur as you build relationships with people, working on your mindset, pretty important, and understanding your ICP, your ideal client profile, which all of this kind of meshes in together. It's all kind of quite similar and related. But that really is, in my opinion, the time split that you should have, and the various different most important things within each of these sectors and stages for helping you start an agency and get to probably $5,000 to $10,000. Honestly, just at least $5,000 per month. I think I'm gonna make another video on getting from like 5 figures to 6 figures or something, maybe 6 figures to 7 figures, because as you get to like maybe 5K per month, you know, this changes. Obviously, once you sign your first client, what happens is sales now takes up a little bit of time. Operations takes up a little bit, or sorry, once you get your first discovery call, like somebody books a call, talk to you about your services, well, now sales opens up on this pie chart. And once somebody signs as a client, well, now operations opens up on this pie chart. And once you have enough revenue to hire somebody, well, now HR opens up. And obviously, from the moment you sign your first client, finance opens up. And so a lot of different other facets of the business open up the moment you bring in revenue. Okay. And this is a big topic. I could go really deep. Yes, so we have a video here, time allocation scaling from 1K to 10K. We're going to go through that. But anyways, ladies and gents, I don't want to talk too much more here. I think we covered the core concept that I want to get through here, which is 100% on the fundamentals, service market fit. Once you've got the fundamentals down and you figured it out and you have a good hypothesis and you have a good ideal client profile, you have a good service idea of what your service offering is going to be, great. Go to the launch stage and get your website done, get your social profile set up, start the prospecting, etc. And make sure you keep reflecting to pivot if you need to based on the feedback you're getting from the market. So hopefully this was helpful to you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.